Hi everyone, thanks for checking out another one of XOTIC PC's video reviews. Today we're going to be checking out MSI's GS70 Stealth-037. This is a 17.3 inch 1920 by 1080 matte type screen. For the CPU we have the i7-4700HQ, which runs at 2.4 to 3.4 gigahertz. The HQ CPUs are not upgradable, so we are not able to change that out for you. For the graphics card, we have NVIDIA's GTX 860M, and that's the 2 gigabyte version. System RAM comes pre-installed, 12 gigabytes, 1600 megahertz. We can go up to 16 gigabytes on here for you. There's 2 DIMM slots, max is 8 gigs per DIMM slot. For your hard drives, it comes with one 128 gigabyte mSATA drive installed. There are 2 additional mSATA slots available, so we can upgrade that for you, as well as making the stock 128 gigabyte even bigger. Put those in the Super RAID 2 if you get all 3 of those slots filled up with it. There's also a 2.5 inch hard drive bay, comes pre-installed with a 750 gig 7200 hard disk drive. Because of its thin chassis size, there is no optical drive here. So if you need to be able to read discs, you want to burn disc, you'll have to get a USB option. Wireless card, Intel AC7260 that does the ABGN as well as the new AC standard. Windows 8.1 pre-installed for the warranty, 2 years for the US-Canada warranty. That's an OEM warranty. They do also include 1 year global warranty on there, and for the US, 1 year accidental damage registration. Accidental damage which requires registration. For the size, that's the big thing about this. 17.3 inch, that's very thin. You're looking at a 0.85 inches thick on there. Pretty light, 5.73 pounds. And then for the other dimensions, 16.47 across here and 11.29 inches deep. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So let's go ahead and take a look at it a little bit more in depth. Alright, we're going to take a look at the viewing angles. I'm going to use a different picture than I've been using recently. We've had that colorful gradient up, but figured I'd change it up a little bit. With spring around the corner, let's make it a little bit more summery. Got some nice fish here. You're going to see that's dead on. I'll turn it off to the side, and you're going to see, at least in the camera, it looks a little bit darker as you go through. Me, I'm not seeing that. So I think it is just, again, the camera lens. Let me adjust my camera settings, see if I can get that to pick it up a little bit better as we change the angle. Let me adjust the focus here. There we go. And let's see if we can get it all the way sideways. So right there, getting really close to even. There it is, where it's fully dead. We'll go right back to it, and with a little focus adjustment, you can see it still picks it up pretty good. Alright, let's spin it off to the right. Adjust my camera settings again. And the focus. There we go. Let me see if we can zoom into that text off. Alright, so about the same viewing angles both ways. Get back out here. And I'll pull the screen forward and lean it back. So let's go ahead. I'll come forward with it first. Just to show you the angle I'm at right now. If we can pick that up. Oh, can't really see it. Okay, we'll go back. But pretty steep angle. Just go all the way down until it closes. There we go. Auto shuts down as it thinks it's going to close it up. Yeah, open it back up here. And let's lean it back. And that is washed out a little bit that way. And let's go ahead and pull it up. So there we go. As with most of the screens that we've been seeing lately, the matte type screens, very good viewing angles. They really don't wash out a whole lot. It looked like the most when it leaned back, but going left, right, even pulling it forward towards us looked real good. And to be honest, it's going to be pretty rare when you have the screen laid back all the way back like that. So, good looking screen on it. Let's check out the keyboard. As you can see, it is a Steel Series keyboard, which MSI likes to put a lot on their models, and rightfully so. They're very high quality. As you can see, it is a backlit keyboard, and it's zonable, programmable, so you can change the colors to whatever you'd like it to be. That is all controlled by the Steel Series engine, which does come pre-installed on there, so you can assign the zones, the colors, whatever you want it to be. You'll see that all is done by the software. Looking back down at the touchpad, it is a flat touchpad here, a little bit of texture to it, just to give your finger a little bit of grip. The left and right click are not raised or separated, so it just has a uniform look to it. For the build quality, as expected with Steel Series, this is going to be one of the best ones out there. Combined with the aluminum chassis, you get a very nice solid, almost no flex to it, even when I'm pressing hard here. And of course with normal typing on a QWERTY keyboard, chiclet style, should be a good experience. Also have the 10 key off to the side, which is expected out of any 15.6 or 17.6 inch computer. So you have your number pad, and then up top we have our speaker bar, and then there are a couple speakers off to the side. Even though it's not Dyna audio, which we normally see on the high-end ones, typically reserved for the GT series, this is a GS. As I was listening to 3D Mark Vantage and the audio that comes along with that, I was really impressed with the sound that it comes with. So even though it's not Dyna audio, expect great sound out of it. Alright, let's take a look at the ports that we have here. Starting on the back left, you're going to see there's your exhaust port there, followed by your Ethernet, 10100, 1000 gigabit, HDMI port, and then we have dual mini display ports here. So you got 3 outputs right there. And you have your USB 3.0s. Again, you can tell those are 3.0s because of the blue that's there. And then you have your audio. So there's your headphone line in, and then there's your microphone. Let's go around to the front. Got your indicator status lights. We'll go over those in a minute here after we check out the rest of it. That's really about it for the front of it. So we'll go ahead and finish it off, go off to the right. Then we have your 2 more USB 3.0 ports, again with the blue. Your memory card reader. Here's your AC adapter power, so that's where your power plugs into. Kensington lock for your security. And then another vent off to the back here. And that's the back right. Let's take a look at the very back of it. You're really not going to see anything back here. It's just flat. Let's see if I can angle that up. Going all the way across. Nothing against the back. So just on the left and the right is where all your connectivity is. And then your status indicator lights right there. So that kind of goes over the ports for you. Alright guys, we're going to take a look into the BIOS. From a cold boot, just turn it on and continually hit delete. And that'll get you in. We'll go over the main menu. It's going to give you the system date and time. Your SATA information just tells you the drives that's installed. So you'll see there's the MSATA drive and then the regular hard disk drive. System information, if you need to check your BIOS version, EC version, in case you do need to do an update. It also shows what's installed in there, like your CPU and amount of RAM. Let's take a look at the boot times. Again, this is with the MSATA drive, so we should see some pretty fast results here. Got my phone up there so we can do a stopwatch. I'll hit start and power at the same time. And we'll have it post first, and we'll really stop it once it gets into the Windows screen. Well, it was a little slow on there. It looked like about 12 seconds, and we were right at the desktop. So that's probably the best time we've seen since we've been doing the stopwatch performance on there. So really good boot times. It's almost like it went from hibernate, but that was a cold boot, totally off, about 12 seconds. We're going to go ahead and run some benchmark tests, take a look at the results. We'll also be shooting our FLIR thermal gun like usual, posting those pictures off to the side so you can see where the heat is generated. Got the microphone set up in place so you can hear the fans ramp up. And then of course our decimal meter there to see what the volume difference is. As you can probably notice as I'm talking, we're averaging about 70 decibels. Today's ambient noise, about 43 is where we're seeing there. A little bit more background noise than usual. One thing I've noticed as I've been doing this review is the fans are absolutely quiet right now. There's no sound coming out of them at all, which is really nice if you're doing some really basic stuff. So let me open up a couple programs. Got hardware monitor going, so we can look at the temps after that. Just to double check, yep, hardware monitor is not picking up the GPU, so I'll go ahead and get MSI Afterburner to pick that up. Right now, MSI Afterburner is showing me a max of 36. So 36 Celsius is your idle temperature. CPUs we're looking at, it's showing me a max of 56 Celsius. So a little bit warmer than we'd like on idle. Maybe some better thermal compound IC diamond will fix that up for you. We'll go ahead and do 3D Mark Vantage. We'll also run 3D Mark 11 and look at the temperatures after that, just to see if it's any different. And as you can hear, the fans are starting to spin now. I don't know if the microphone can pick that up, but I can definitely hear fans are now spinning. 3D Mark Vantage has finished up. Again, this is the GTX 860M 2 gig version. You see the score there, 17,818. GPU score, 16,682. CPU score, 22,289. Look at hardware monitor here. Looking at the CPUs, got up to 88 to 90 high. So a little higher temperatures again as we'd like to see. Your MSI Afterburner GPU max temperature 82. You probably can't see that, but we're seeing an 82 on there. So that is 3D Mark Vantage. As you probably saw, not a lot of heat generated. I'm going to go ahead and run 3D Mark 11, see if it does cause higher temps, and see what type of score we can get on that. 3D Mark 11 is all finished up. As you can see, 4,982 is the points that it got there. For the graphics, a little bit smaller text, I'll read that. 4840 physics score, 6,925, and a combined score of 4,149. Temperatures look better on 3D Mark Vantage. I'll go ahead and pull up hardware monitor here. So the CPUs are a little bit lower. 83 to 84 is what we saw here. So right in there. And then the temps going to be a little bit harder to see, but we maxed out at 86. So lower temps for this model than we saw compared to 3D Mark Vantage. For the scores themselves on both programs, right on par of where they should be. We also ran Crystal Disk, so you can see the speed of the MSATA drive that comes with it. Full SAT at 3 speeds. Read time 517.5 megabytes per second, and write time 464.7 megabytes per second. So that really takes care of our benchmark performance numbers that we typically like to look over. Got the computer flipped upside down, got the front of it facing this way and the rear of it this way. Went ahead and unscrewed all the screws around the perimeter. There are quite a few of them. Once you've done that, there are some latches, so it does take some prying on there. You'll feel them kind of pop as they give. Once you've got them all undone, you can just lift this back panel away. There are no screws or cables that you have to worry about. So just move that out of the way once you've gotten it taken care of. Right in the middle is going to be the battery. This is an internal battery, so it's not designed to be taken out like some are. Got a speaker off to the side here. Got your wireless card. This is going to be the CPU exhaust vent and fan. Not sure if you can see it, but right down into there, I can't see copper heat sinks or copper heat transfer pipes, I should say. They've got this all pretty much blocked up. Can't see anything on here. That's going to be where your CPU and your GPU is. I'm sure you can see them on the other side of the motherboard. Over here is going to be the graphics card fan. Again, copper heat sinks or heat transfer pipes down in the tucked away in there that I can see. We got one MSATA slot here. Got a second MSATA slot here. We're going to have to double check the specs on it. Our website does list 3 of them, but obviously there's only 2 that I can see. And then this is where the 2.5-inch hard drive bay goes. And that's really all that you can access from the bottom. The other things like the additional RAM slot probably also on the other side of the motherboard. Now, typically we would say under the keyboard, and this would be technically under the keyboard. But with how this is designed, you can't just pop the keyboard off of it. So it would take a full dismantling, the removal, before you can get to the other components there. Let's get about finish up our look at the new MSI GS70 Stealth. Overall impressions on it, it's a very good computer if you're needing a larger screen like a 17.3 inch and still want portable power with it. The performance that we found right on par with the video card and how it should be. Temperatures very nice considering that the chassis is so thin. Of course they could be a little bit cooler. We got a few solutions for that, like the IC Diamond thermal compound, maybe look into the copper cooling upgrades that we offer. The fans on this is the biggest thing that grabbed my attention. Dead quiet when you're just doing some very light work on there. even under load while running our benchmark programs, the fans were very quiet, probably the quietest out of any of the computers that we've ran, and the temperatures, reflected that. So they didn't overheat, a little bit higher than ideal, but again, very good performance for what you're getting out of there. So if you're looking for something portable that's not weigh you down a whole lot, this is definitely one to take a look at. All right, thanks for checking it out. Again, this is XOTIC PC, XOTIC PC.com. You can reach us at sales@exoticpc.com or give our toll-free number a call. Talk to any of our sales reps. If you like the video, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them right underneath, and we'll do our best to answer them. Thanks again for checking us out.